Hey, folks, I feel compelled to do this again. I've actually covered this a couple of times, once in a video and once during a live stream. But I understand the short memories. I understand the short memory complex. You know, people, if it's not in front of your face all the time in this short attention span world we live in now, people tend to forget. So I'm doing this here. Now, since child support and abortion and people coming here like they didn't realize, didn't know that when something's removed from the federal level, it just goes back to the state level. You know, if you didn't know, you didn't know. Some people know and love the fire of acting like they didn't know. Like it's just more, gives them more oomph or something to it. I mean, get the flip out of here. If you didn't know, you didn't know. If you do know, don't act like you don't know to try to grandstand on something. That just, never mind. So what I'm going to do here is I pulled up the old stories on this child support deal because people are saying, well, now we all know that for the most part, child support is crazy. And we also know that there's people that don't pay child support, but for whatever reason, she don't want it from them. He probably don't have anything, or he in the pen, or this, that, and other, whatever. We all know the guy that got multiples by multiple chicks, some paying, some ain't. We know guys that's paying for kids that ain't theirs. Find out later, short story. I know a man personally that paid child support. I talked about him before. He had like this little last child support payment thing going on where people, they put up too much stuff on social media. They put up too much stuff where he going down there and he doing his ghetto buck dance in his little outfit to make his last payment, and he clowning Boom Kwee about making his last payment and you can get out of my life and this. And after she got the last payment is when she told him he wasn't your son anyway. Now, some people say DNA test is a wonderful thing. Some states recognize it. Some states don't. And plus, you have to remember how many men from the 60s and 70s, when there were no such thing as paternity tests, they had the feed them until you look like them mentality the court systems had. Them men were just left hung out to dry. What they say in the song The Message, the wife took the kids, the car, and the crib, in this man's world, so much for women's lib. No, that was New York, big city of dreams. Everything in New York ain't always what it seems. Yeah. That was it. For us old heads that remember when Grandmaster Flash was popping. Anyway, let's go through these here, and you're going to run down and you'll see how this system plays you, okay? Well, plays us, period. Let me go ahead and mute myself.
Wild and unbelievable stories here in Detroit.
This is one of them.
This is one of them. Imagine being told to pay child support for a kid that is not yours or go to jail. That was the order the state handed down to a Detroit man.
So today, he turned himself in, but here's what happened when 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell went with him to court.
Carnell Alexander walked into the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice knowing in moments he could lose his freedom.
Oh, yeah. Fair use. WXON, Channel 7 Detroit, ABC, fair use. No, that's right. WXON is Channel 20, I think. Man, I'm getting fuzzy.
freedom.
I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about it.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and to pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his, a child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him, except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Nonetheless, right now, under the law, he's a deadbeat dad. Today, he turned himself in to the judge as ordered.
Scared, because I've been before this judge before.
But this time, he had attorney Cherika Harris, who volunteered to help.
Yeah, you done been before her. Yeah. Dog, you fighting an uphill battle to get. I'm surprised that Cherika Harris was done what she done. I mean, I know she's off the case now. It's someone else, but y'all know what I'm going to say. You see who his judge is.
After seeing his story on 7 Action News, the judge said he will not go to jail for today.
Thank you. Thank Ms. Harris. And hope that we can resolve this soon.
I'm just trying to help him with his future.
Though the threat of jail is on hold, it is not over. Carnell Alexander still owes more than $30,000 to the state for a child that's not his because the mom wrote his name down because she needed to name someone in order to get welfare benefits.
And I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
Now,
I'm almost.
This is what you get when you dealing what they call it when she's on the carousel. Now, it's your body. Do what, hey, you want to ride the carousel, go ahead. But some of these dudes, if you can find out if that's something you can live with as a dude, then you go ahead. If not, then you need to bypass. But the thing is, if you're going to ride the carousel, but you can't expect someone that plays that game and ride the carousel to do something honorable like not throwing you under the bus. You got to be out of your mind to expect somebody like that to do the right thing morally. It's not happening anyway.
I was homeless. I'm almost in jail. I'm out of work. My money is being threatened to be taken.
Carnell isn't just worried about how this is impacting him. He says the law needs to be changed. So when this happens, as it often does, other men don't become dad by default.
We can be defaulted into being a father of a child that is not ours. I don't understand that law, but it is a law in place.
In Detroit, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Yeah, you would think that mother would have to pay that money back instead of him, who's not the father's child.
Information in a story first exposed about the state ordering a Detroit man to pay child support for a kid that everybody agrees isn't his.
As 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell tells us, the court has made him a wanted man until he pays up.
When I exposed this story, I thought someone at Friend of the Court would fix a clear injustice. Instead, a warrant has now been issued for Carnell Alexander's arrest. For him, it's deja vu.
And got the same reporter, the same lady, so they know each other now, huh?
In 1991, during a traffic stop, Carnell Alexander got a shock. Police arrested him. His crime? Being a deadbeat dad.
I knew I didn't have a child, so I was kind of blown back.
He told 7 Action News he would later learn this happened because his ex needed help.
I had to turn to welfare to get assistance, to take care of them, and I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
That started a paternity case.
And I've actually seen the full length one. I can't find it. I seen the full length one where they were talking because the chick that was asking her the questions said, why Carnell? Why him? She said something to the effect of, it not verbatim, but I'm not going to be far off. Like he was the only one that like where she would get the most money, like he got a job, basically. He got a job. So basically, the baby daddy is a bum. You got impregnated by a bum. And see, I know a whole bunch of females, whether they realize they know it or not, drag dudes. Now, some dudes decide to be drugged. But they drag the dude just like, hey, I drag dudes. I ain't going to sit here and act like I don't. I drag the hell out of dudes when they do dumb crap or what I perceive as dumb. Well, some things ain't perception. Like you set yourself on fire, that's dumb. Hit yourself in the head with a hammer, that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? Certain things, well, that's your opinion. No, that's dumb. But they skip over films like this and still support the system the way they see it is like, look, you're a casualty of war. You're just a casualty. We're not going to change the system. Did the system stroke you over? Yeah. Should the system have stroked you the way it did? No. Are we going to begrudge the system? No. Why not? Because we are the covenant of the Yahya sisterhood. And we are the benefactors, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just the way it is. That's the way it TI is. And the faster that a lot of these dudes, not this gentleman here, because I'm quite sure he knows now, until a lot of these dudes ain't going to realize what's going on till they are sitting on the mercy seat. I'm just saying. Onward.
A process server then turned in this paper saying Carnell had been notified at a house in Highland Park. So when he didn't show up at court, he was legally listed as dad. The problem? Carnell didn't get notified. He wasn't even at a house in Highland Park. He was in prison for a crime he committed as a young man. And by the time he learned about the paternity case, judges told him it was too late. Legally, he owes the state more than $30 grand for assistance paid to care for a child.
I did not.
Now make that one make sense. We delivered it to you, but you wasn't there. I was in jail. Okay. Now this is in the same state. This is Michigan. This is Wayne County. This is where I'm from. Oh, no, there's going to be another story in here from a different county in Michigan. Going to have a little different result at the end, but anyway, you'll see it. So you have him incarcerated, so you should know where he's at. That's the left hand not talking to the right hand. Child Support Division not dealing with the magistrate's office because they've been able to tell him, dude, now you can't send him that letter. He's locked up. We got him in the county cooler. Make that make sense. This is what you're up against.
Father that I did not biologically create or spend any time with throughout my life. I find that very unfair.
Carnell says he won't pay. He tells me tomorrow he will turn himself in.
I will go to jail if I have to because I'm tired of the situation of the mishandling of the case.
I don't think that's right.
Murray Davis from the National Family Justice Association says there are thousands of men in Carnell Alexander's shoes because Michigan does not have paternity fraud laws that protect men.
Michigan does not recognize paternity fraud in the sense that a person who has been found not to be the father is relieved of those obligations.
I did reach out to Friend of the Court and was told that they cannot comment on open and active cases. Carnell, in the meantime, plans to go to court and turn himself in tomorrow with his attorney, who hopes to convince a judge to let him go free. We'll let you know what happens. Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
All right, Kim, certainly a lot of people watching that one.
Information in a story first.
And that was the one, actually, I should have played this one before the other one because the judge did let him go.
Now to at 10, News Channel 3 getting to the bottom of a burning question one Memphis man has been trying to answer.
This one, as you see, this one's Memphis, okay? Here we go. This one's in Tennessee. A lot of states, Iowa don't have paternity laws. Tennessee, Michigan, Ohio. I mean, I gotta find that map. You'll know, I mean, of the states that have it and the states that don't. I mean, and it's crazy because it benefits the state, not you, or in this case, us, because I'm a man. Onward.
Answer for years. Why is Shelby County Juvenile Court forcing him to pay for a child that is not biologically his? What's even more unusual, he says the judges at juvenile court have an idea who the real father is.
Yet they're still demanding he pay up. Now he's turning to On Your Side investigator Stephanie Skurlock for help.
Talk show TV makes millions off the catchphrase, "You are not the father." But the reality in Memphis is just because you're not the daddy doesn't mean Shelby County Juvenile Court won't make you pay.
I was down there in handcuffs and chains.
Over the years, Edward Bowdery had his driver's license stripped and once even found himself in handcuffs over child support payments for a child that's not his.
I would hate to see somebody else go through the same thing. I've been going through this. I mean, headaches.
This mound of paperwork shows a juvenile court judge ordered him to pay child support even before the birth.
I didn't do a voluntary acknowledgement. I didn't sign the birth certificate. All I knew is we legitimated the child in your name.
Bowdery asked several judges during several hearings for a DNA test, but no judge ordered one.
I said, how did I even get put on child support? And I never said this was my child. And they said, again, this is not what we're here for.
In 2009, he took the child himself to get a DNA test and found the son he'd supported for years was not biologically his. He took the documentation to court. The judge wouldn't accept it, but ordered a new DNA test done that showed the same results. Probability of paternity, 0%.
They never did do what they were originally supposed to do, which was give me the opportunity to take a DNA test. I was just a voice not being heard, so I guess I needed a choir.
Juvenile court magistrate Nancy Kessler agreed in October to allow Bowdery to disestablish paternity, but only after, he says, she admonished him for taking it this far.
The judge stated that, well, I find it very distasteful that you're bastardizing a child.
The judge stopped the child support going forward, but Bowdery still has to pay $460 a month to the mother in back pay.
Y'all hear that? You're bastardizing this child. How am I bastardizing? No, the dude that knocked her up is bastardizing the child. See, this is another case. Guarantee you, I'm willing to guarantee. I bet you $1 to a donut. Now, I prefer the dollar over I'll let you take the donut and I'll keep the dollar, but you know what I mean. This is more than like another case where some bum, the dude that she wanted to stroke, she want to stroke him, but he has no means of support. So I'm going to hang it on you. This is what you're dealing with. And they know they can do it because they know the state got their back. They know the government got their back. Females know that more often than not that they will get away with throwing you under the bus. If they knew there was recourse, backlash, or odds of them being charged or jailed, I'm willing to bet you that would slow down.
He doesn't believe he should have to pay anything. In fact, he believes someone owes him money, the $30,000 he's already paid. Administrators at juvenile court denied our request for an interview on this case, saying it's not appropriate to comment about rulings. What are the chances of him getting his money back?
It is very unusual and very infrequent.
Family lawyer Miles Mason says in a similar case, the Tennessee Supreme Court ruled a man in Middle Tennessee could sue his ex-wife for fraud. He got a $100,000 judgment.
There was a very large judgment awarded against the mother, but I doubt it would be likely that they would be able to collect in most cases.
This bill is simple, that a person who is proven not to be the biological father.
State Representative G.A. Hardaway says he's heard from a number of fathers in his district who were like Bowdery. He introduced a bill letting them file civil lawsuits against the biological fathers, but it never made it out of committee.
To a degree, justice needs to be served. I think it needs to be a totally different, a new law or something.
The question many people might ask, why is Bowery still paying back pay to the child's mother? Well, we're told by law, the new judge he's dealing with can't undo another judge's ruling. For the On Your Side investigators, Stephanie Skurlock, WREG News, Channel 3.
Family lawyers say if you're not married, get a court order declaring that you're the father, and as part of that order, get a DNA test.
Yes, get a DNA test. But in this case, he had a DNA test and they threw it out. But you go take our DNA test, which I'm quite sure adds money out of his pocket into their coffers, even though he already had it. All they had to do was verify that it was a viable source, which they probably did, but they ain't getting paid for that, and made him take it again and got the exact same result. This is your system. Men, this is what you're up against.
Don't wait. If you wait, you can wake up owing tens of thousands of dollars before you know it.
When a divorced dad was ordered to pay child support for a child who isn't his, he turned to our Target 8 investigators for help. We uncovered it's perfectly legal for the state to order him to pay support for another man's child and to deny biological fathers who want to pay from doing so.
This is also Michigan, but it's I think it's in Ottawa County. It's away from Detroit. Okay, it's away from Wayne County. Oakland County is right outside of Wayne County. Then you keep going. It's in Ottawa County. So same state, but different county.
So Target 8's Heather Walker exposes a law that's being called outrageous.
What's going on, buddy?
Joseph Shamilar is a divorced dad of two. Not even 9 months after the split, Joe got some shocking news from his boys.
And they got in the car and they were bouncing up and down, telling me that mom has a new baby. And I said, well, is she babysitting? Is she, is she looking after someone?
So you didn't think it was real?
No, I had no idea.
His ex-wife had given birth. She had gotten pregnant during their separation by another man. Legally, she was still married to Joe. Court papers clearly acknowledge the baby is not Joe's, but Albert Bush's, and that Bush had established a personal, financial, or custodial relationship with the child. The court ordered medical expenses be split between the biological parents. But the Friday before Father's Day, Joe got a letter in the mail from friend of the court.
I thought, my God, this is hilarious. It's Father's Day weekend, and here's the biggest joke that I think I've ever had played on me transpiring right now.
The letter said he owed $8,500 in back child support plus medical expenses for a baby his ex-wife had with another man. So the court was asking you to pay for a child that's not yours.
Exactly.
I went to Ottawa County friend of the court office to get answers. How is this legal? Their spokesperson agreed to do an on-camera interview, but on the scheduled day changed his mind and would only answer our questions over the phone. He told us it didn't matter who the biological dad is, only what's in the best interest of the child. In other words, which one can take best care of the child?
Basically, that means which one of the two got more money, more resources, more ability for us to pilfer. People, a lot of folks don't know, when they collect child support, when the county collects child support from you, all of that money don't go to the child. All right, let's say, just example, they take $500 from you. She might get a check for $400, maybe, because it got to go into the system. The people, the investigators, the building that the child support clerks and all them people are in, their water, their maintenance, the electricity to run the building, the internet service for the building, the tax for the bill, all that money, the more people, the more men they can keep on child support, the more money they can feed themselves with. It's a self-feeding system. It's a self-feeding system, and we are the food.
Financially. The court decided That was Joe.
Do you think this law needs to be changed in any way?
We went straight to the man who tried to fix the law, Senator Rick Jones.
I certainly would agree that if you're married to someone, they then run off and have a child by another man, that you should not have to pay child support. That seems a bit outrageous.
The original law was written back in 1956. It said if a child is born to a married woman, the biological dad has no legal rights. Last year, it was updated to allow husbands like Joe to fight financial responsibility.
What's the biggest problem with the law and the language, would you say?
It's not clearly drafted.
Melissa Drake is Joe's attorney. She tells us the law isn't just failing him, it's not working for biological dads either. Rob Recknagel says he's had trouble eating and sleeping since his son was born.
Every single day that goes by that I don't get to see him, it just gets tougher. I don't know what he looks like.
Rob says he searched online hospital nurseries just to see if he could find his son. He says he didn't know his girlfriend was still married when they got together. Rob says they were planning to blend their families. Rob bought a ring, but before she gave birth, Rob says
she was already married. But see, you let the films tell it. That's only stuff that men do. Well, that they don't do such things as that. Women don't cheat on their husbands and boyfriends. We would never think of doing such things. And I will admonish you. I shall smite thee if you even try to elude that women will step outside of the house for extramarital affairs. Fuck out of here.
he got this email saying although the baby was his, she was going to raise it with her husband.
I'm standing here saying I want my son in my life. I want to pay child support. Let's sign the proper documents and let me just do that.
You're trying to do the right thing.
That's all I want.
What can be done about this?
What can be done about this is people should be more responsible and shouldn't have sex outside of marriage, shouldn't father children outside of marriage, and should think before they act. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, but he didn't know that she was already married, sir.
Could we do more? Yes. Could we fine tune it? Yes. Should a father have to pay support on a child when it's not his child? No. So we do need to do more, but we've made some monumental changes.
Heather Walker reporting. Well, after we started questioning friend of the court, it dropped its request for Joe to pay child support. In fact, 10 days ago, an Ottawa County judge issued an order clearing Joe of all responsibility for that child. As for Rob, he was able to see his son, but only for an hour. He's still fighting in court to get legal rights for regular visits.
There it is, folks. I mean, take it as you will. It is what it is. I know it's easy to say that those are, just rare instances. Look, I know dudes. I know I'm not the only one. I know dudes, like I said at the beginning of this, that have multiple kids and he doesn't, with different women, he just vagabond, whatever you want to call it. But like I always say, he didn't take it. They gave it to him. For whatever reason, that ain't none of my business. That's between them. Him, her, and the rain, as I like to say. But it is what it is. And I also know men that are paying child support, they like, yeah, it's, that's my son, that's my daughter. Like I told y'all about a buddy of mine I used to work with. His daughter, look, as soon as I seen her, I'm like, yeah, I know who your daddy is. Look just like him. But he don't deny her anyway. It's just him and the mother. They just don't get along. But she loves her father and he loves his daughter. And as I still remember her when it was, I can tell when it was his weekend, because she would literally drop the girl off at Keller. She'd be in the parking lot and drop her off. And as soon as he walk out, she pretty much just put the girl out and just drive off. I still remember that. But and also, we know dudes that's paying for somebody else's kids. because she put you on paper, just like they did in this, like you seen here. She put you on paper that you the daddy. You ain't bit more the father of that child than the man in the moon. But here you are, standing tall in front of the man with your chest stuck out, wondering what the hell is going on. Well, we know what's going on. Even though it may not seem like it at the time, you chose poorly. And it's easy to say, do better and all that. It's just so damn easy to say that, because sometimes you is finding out what's really going on inside a person. A lot of time, about time you figure it out, and people change. About time you figure it out, it's too late. It's water under the bridge. You're along for the ride. Y'all be good. Be safe. Talk to y'all later. Bye.